I said one word, just one word. I picked up the phone, heard silence on the other end, and I said, "Hello?" That single breath, that one syllable, was recorded, cloned by a machine, and used to steal $38,000 from my life savings. I commanded battalions. I led men through war. And I was defeated by my own voice.
My name is Marcus Webb, Commander Marcus Webb, United States Navy, retired. I am 75 years old now. For 40 years, I wore the uniform. I served on destroyers, trained young officers at Annapolis, and spent my final tour at the Pentagon. I was a man who made decisions, hard ones, life and death ones. When I spoke, people moved. And now, when I speak, I flinch, because my voice doesn't feel like it belongs to me anymore. I live in a modest house in Virginia Beach now, close enough to the base to hear the jets, far enough to afford the mortgage. My wife Loretta passed 3 years ago from pancreatic cancer. We had 46 good years. She was the only person who could tell me I was wrong and make me thank her for it. After she was gone, the house got big, real big. I filled the silence with television and the occasional phone call from my son, Terrence, who lives in San Diego with his own family. I was not lonely. I want to be clear about that. I am a solitary man by nature. I like order. I like my coffee black and my news at 6. I thought I was too disciplined, too alert, too military, to fall for any kind of con. I deleted strange emails. I shredded financial documents. I had a credit freeze on all 3 bureaus since 2017, and none of it mattered, because they didn't come from my passwords. They came from my voice.
It was a Wednesday, a nothing day. I had been out in the garage reorganizing my toolbox, the kind of task you do when you just need to keep your hands busy. My cell phone vibrated on the workbench. The screen read, "Unknown number." I stared at it for 3 rings, and then I answered. I don't know why. Habit, maybe. Or maybe just the reflex of a man who spent decades answering the phone because it might be the Pentagon. It might be urgent. It might be real. Hello? Silence. That thick, electric silence that tells you someone is there but they aren't speaking. I heard a faint click, like a recording starting. Hello? Who is this? More silence. Then the line went dead. I looked at the phone. 4 seconds. The call had lasted 4 seconds. I shrugged and put it back down on the workbench. I didn't think about it again for the rest of the day. That was my first mistake. I thought the threat had to be long. I thought the threat had to be loud. I didn't know that in the year 2025, 4 seconds of your voice is enough to ruin your life.
I need to explain something to you about voice cloning technology. I'm not an expert. I'm not a computer scientist. But after what happened to me, I learned. I learned because I had to. There are now artificial intelligence programs that can take as little as 3 seconds of your voice, 3 seconds, and build a digital replica that sounds exactly like you. Not close, not similar, exactly. Your tone, your cadence, your breathing pattern, the little pause you make before you say yes. These machines study you like a drill sergeant studies a new recruit. They find your weaknesses, they replicate you. And once they have your voice, they can make you say anything. That 4-second call was a harvesting operation. I said hello twice. I gave them my greeting, my breath, my identity, and I didn't even know I was being robbed.
A week passed. I'd almost forgotten about the silent call. That's the thing about those calls. They feel like a wrong number, a pocket dial, a glitch. They feel like nothing, and that's their power. I was sitting at my kitchen table, paying bills, the old-fashioned way, with a checkbook and a pen. My son Terrence keeps telling me to switch to online banking, but I like the paper. I like to see the numbers in my own handwriting. The phone rang. This time, the caller ID said Navy Federal Credit Union. That's my actual credit union. The number matched the one on the back of my debit card. I checked. I always check. I answered.
Commander Webb, this is Alicia at Navy Federal Fraud Prevention. We're calling because we flagged some unusual activity on your checking account.
I sat up straighter. My military bearing kicked in. What kind of activity?
A wire transfer request for $12,000 to an account in Arizona. We froze the transfer, but we need to verify your identity before we can secure the rest of the account.
All right, I said. What do you need from me?
I just need you to verbally confirm some information. Can you state your full name and date of birth for voice verification?
I paused. Something tickled the back of my neck. A sixth sense, maybe. You called me, I said. Shouldn't you already know who I am? Alicia laughed. It was a warm laugh. Practiced.
I understand your concern, Commander. That's the right instinct. But our voice verification system requires a match against your recorded profile. It's a security measure. It protects you.
She said protects you. She said security. She spoke in the language of order and protocol, the language of my entire life. Marcus Allen Webb. I said. April 12th, 1950.
Thank you, Commander. And can you just say, yes, I authorize this verification for the recording?
Yes, I said. Yes, I authorize this verification. There it was. Right there. I gave them my full name, my date of birth, and a clear, clean sample of the word yes. I might as well have handed them the keys to my front door and a map of every account I owned. Alicia told me the account was secure. She told me someone from the resolution department would call me back within 24 hours. She told me not to worry. I didn't worry. I had done my due diligence. The caller ID matched. The woman sounded professional. She called me Commander. She knew my rank. What I didn't know, what I couldn't have known, was that the scammers had spoofed the credit union's phone number. It's trivially easy to do. A child could do it with the right app. And the reason they called me Commander is because they had already scraped my LinkedIn profile. They knew about my Navy career before they ever dialed my number. This was not a random attack. This was a targeted operation, and I was the target. 2 days later, I checked my checking account balance because I needed to transfer money to my savings for the property tax bill. The screen loaded. I blinked. Then I blinked again. Negative $38,412. Not zero, negative, overdrawn. A checking account I had kept with a comfortable buffer of $40,000 was now nearly $40,000 in the red. I called Navy Federal immediately, the real Navy Federal. I sat on hold for 17 minutes, my heart hammering so hard I could feel it in my temples. When I finally got a human being on the line, I could barely form sentences. My account, I said. Something is wrong with my account. There was a pause, the kind of pause that tells you bad news is coming.
Commander Webb, it looks like 3 wire transfers were processed in the last 48 hours. 2 for $15,000 to an online lending platform and 1 for $8,000 to a mobile payment service. All three were authorized via voice verification. The system confirmed your identity. Your exact voice pattern was matched.
I gripped the edge of the table. I didn't authorize anything.
Sir, the voice match came back at 97% confidence. The verification said your name, your date of birth, and the word yes in your exact vocal signature. My own voice. My stolen, copied, cloned voice. It had called the credit union. It had answered the security questions. It had said, yes, I authorized this transaction. And I had given them every single piece of that puzzle without ever knowing I was doing it.
I want to pause the story here. I want to speak directly to you, the person watching this right now. Because maybe you've gotten a call like mine. Maybe it was silent. Maybe it was a wrong number. Maybe it was someone asking, "Can you hear me?" And you said yes. If you have said the word yes, or hello, or I can hear you to a stranger on the phone, you might already have been harvested. I am telling you this because I sat in silence for 2 weeks. I told no one, not my son, not my neighbor, not the guys at the VFW. I was ashamed. I was a commander, for God's sake. I commanded destroyers. I briefed admirals, and I fell for a phone call. Please don't let my silence make you the next victim. Share this video. Send it to your family. Send it to your friends. Send it to anyone you know who still picks up the phone for unknown numbers. Because the scammers are not just stealing money anymore. They are stealing us, our voices, our identities, our breath. And we have to stop them. The days after the fraud discovery were a blur of phone calls and paperwork. I filed a police report with the Virginia Beach PD. I filed a complaint with the FBI's Internet Crime Complaint Center. I sat across from a fraud investigator at Navy Federal who told me in a very gentle voice that the credit union might not be able to recover the funds because the transactions were voice verified. Voice verified. That phrase will haunt me until the day I die. My voice was the key. My voice was the signature. My voice was the password. And you cannot change your voice. I called Terrence. I had to. He needed to know that his inheritance, the money Loretta and I had put aside for him and the grandchildren, was gone. The conversation was the hardest thing I have ever done. Harder than boot camp. Harder than burying my wife. Dad, why didn't you call me sooner? Because I was embarrassed, son. Dad, you're the most capable man I know. If they got you, they can get anyone. This isn't your fault. But it felt like my fault. It still feels like my fault. Because I answered the phone. Because I said hello. Because I trusted a system that I thought was built on order and discipline, only to discover that the criminals have more discipline than the institutions supposed to protect us. So what do we do? How do we live in a world where your voice can be stolen like a wallet? I've had a lot of time to think about this, and I've developed a set of protocols. I'm a military man. I believe in protocols. Protocol 1. Don't say a single word. If you receive a call from an unknown number, do not speak first. Let them speak. Better yet, let it go to voicemail. A real caller will leave a message. A voice harvester will hang up. Silence is your first line of defense. Protocol 2. The callback rule. If someone calls claiming to be from your bank, your credit union, your doctor's office, hang up. Do not give them anything. Then call the number on the back of your card, the real number. Not the number they gave you, not the number on your caller ID, the physical, printed number on your actual card or statement.
verify through a completely separate channel. This one step would have saved me $38,000. Protocol 3. Your voice is a password. Treat it like one. Don't give voice samples to anyone who calls you. Don't say yes to a stranger on the phone. Don't confirm your name and date of birth just because someone asks. Banks don't verify identity by asking you to repeat phrases. Real institutions use PINs, passwords, two-factor authentication. They don't need you to say yes into a recording. Protocol 4. No shame, no silence. This is the hardest one for people like me. For veterans. For proud people. We don't want to admit we were tricked. But the scammers depend on that silence. They bank on it. If you've been targeted, tell someone. Tell your family. Tell your bank. Tell the police. Tell the FTC. The faster you speak up, the faster you can stop the bleeding, and the faster you warn someone else.
I am 75 years old. I don't know how many years I have left, but I know what I'm going to do with them. I'm going to tell this story. I'm going to tell it at the VFW. I'm going to tell it at church. I'm going to tell it to anyone who will listen. Because the scammers took my money. They took my voice. But they will not take my silence. I have changed the way I answer the phone now. When it rings and I don't recognize the number, I pick it up and I don't say anything. I just listen. And if I hear silence, that electric silence, I hang up immediately. No hello, no who is this, no can I help you. Nothing. I give them nothing. Because I've already given them enough. Don't make the same mistake I did. Your voice is yours. It belongs to you. Guard it like you guard your wallet. Guard it like you guard your front door. Guard it like you guard your honor. Because in this new world, a single word can cost you everything. And I have the bank statements to prove it.